Weekly Reddit.
Weekly Reddit.
Okay. I have been dating my boyfriend, Matt, for almost 2 years. His family is very close, and his mom, in particular, has always been a little possessive.
Okay, red flag.
I try not to make a big deal of it, but it's clear she doesn't like that I take up his time. And she's made passive aggressive comments like, I hope I don't lose my son to some girl."
That's not passive.
Right.
She straight said it.
Even though we've been together for a while, and I've made every effort to be kind and respectful to her. Anyway, last week was Matt's birthday. He invited me to dinner with his family at a nice restaurant. I dressed up, got him a gift I knew he'd love, and was honestly looking forward to the night. When we arrived, I noticed his mom had saved the seat right next to him for her. That's fine, whatever. I sat on the other side. But right before he ordered, his mom made a joke about how I always need to be next to Matt and said, "Let's see how you handle a little separation." Then she literally stood up, looked at me and said, "Scooch, sweetie," motioning for me to move down a seat so she could sit between us.
No.
Everyone at the table laughed, Matt included. I was so stunned, I just quietly got up and moved. For about 5 minutes, I sat there feeling small and humiliated while she leaned over Matt like he was her date. So I stood up, grabbed my bag, and said, "Actually, I think I'm going to head out. Hope you have a great birthday, Matt." And I left. Matt blew up my phone later saying I completely overreacted and embarrassed him in front of his family and can't take a joke. His mom texted me a "sorry you were so sensitive" message, which just made it worse. Now he's not speaking to me until I apologize. I honestly feel like they were the rude ones, but it was his birthday dinner, so now I'm second guessing everything. Am I the asshole?
No. I would never speak to none of them people again. Like, take this as your exit. Because you standing up, that was yourself going, you know what? This is out of hand. And I'm not fighting your mama for your attention. I'm not in the mood. She can have you. Y'all gonna be happy together. I'm not fighting your mama for attention. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, something's off with them. But that happens a lot. I didn't date somebody that was like really codependent on their parents, but my old roommate, like she's so attached to her mother. And I always looked at her like, that's not healthy.
Because the thing is, her mother's giving her the energy back. That's why she's so needy.
And that's why I'm like, his whole family dynamic
is weird.
It's like, that's weird. Especially for your girlfriend.
Of 2 years. Ain't like this some girl you've been on for 2 weeks. This is someone of two the
years.
Family knows her. Everything.
I mean, for her to sit there and say that she was all on him.
Why you the one?
Her feel like she was the date. And I'm like, that's
weird, man.
That's weird. That means your family dynamic, y'all too close, like break away. Like, is Victor a mama's boy?
No.
Okay.
I dated a mama's boy once.
I've never dated a mama's boy.
My high school sweetheart, I had to let him go because of it. I broke up with him because of his mama. I did. I was like, his whole family. And I was like, look, because they want somebody to kiss their ass, which I'm not doing. Like, I'm not rude by any means, but I'm also not kissing your ass. I'm not doing it. And so they realized that wouldn't happen. It was creating conflict. They wanted me to kiss their ass and I wouldn't do it. And he was like, oh, I was like, no. I said, your family is weird and I don't got time for y'all. Life is hard enough. Life is hard enough. I don't have time.
I would imagine that it's hard to date someone that is a mama's boy,
because they never view their
family
as the problem. They always think it's you, the outsider, that's the problem. It's never them or their family dynamics. Even if they know multiple people have spoken to them about their family dynamics, you would not be the first person saying something. But it's always, no, they're just jealous. They don't have a close
They don't have a
relationship
close
like I
family like
have.
us.
I wouldn't be surprised your mom's still showering you. That's weird. I don't.
Yeah, but like I said, I would imagine that it would be kind of difficult to date somebody that's a mama's boy or a daddy's girl, because based off of what I hear about
None of it's good.
they
Neither
overstep
gender.
all the time and truly think that they have a say in their child's significant other.
They think it's a group decision. They do not think it's their child's decision alone. They think this is a family decision who they date. No.
That's crazy to me.
Because I have children, I couldn't imagine doing that. I find it weird. Feels icky. I would be nice, but I wouldn't be all in. Like, yeah, y'all need to learn to it's me who would need to learn to separate. It's me who would need to move several seats down so that they can be together. It's not her that needs to move, ma'am. It's you that needs to move. And it's his fault for not making you move, because he can't marry nobody, because your mother, your family, all of those people are extended family once you get married. They are not your primary family anymore.
But I would have been mad I think she has every right to be upset with him.
Because when she stormed off, good. Don't look back. You should have stormed off and never look back.
Because how dare you laugh with them?
And I'm like, and it takes me,
it's bad that your mama said that, and did that.
And you
you should have been like, hold on.
Quit playing.
Yeah.
You taking it too far
but
now.
Instead, you joined in with the ha-has and the he-he's.
Baby, the way his tires would have been slashed too.
Girl, you always slashing somebody damn tires.
Because they expensive.
You giving people ideas. Somebody done already said, oh, I ain't think of that on something else you said you was going to slash tires for.
3, not 4.
Bad influence, I'm telling you.
People deserve it. I'm sick of this. People deserve it. Because karma ain't missed me. Karma ain't missed Jade.
Me neither.
And when it come to me, I go, I deserved it.
I know what I
sure did. I deserved everything that happened to my raggedy ass.
I know what I did. But anywho, yeah, I read that story and I just
I feel for her.
How could you not... that girl been your girlfriend for 2 years.
And that's what makes me feel bad. It's not like she's a new girlfriend. She's been dealing with
this shit for 2 years. Yeah, girl, gonna get gone.
Girl, just leave. Get the hell out.
Get out.
Leave.
Right now.
Stay in the view with me. Yeah. Ooh, JoJo did her that song.
Yay.
You know she said it.
Yeah, I do. But I forgot about that part until you said it.
Girl, go. Just go. Don't look back. Don't say goodbye. Just leave.
Yeah, she gave an update on this, I believe.
Ooh, what she say? She better not went back to his ass. I'll be mad. I am. She better not.
If I remember correctly, she did leave.
Okay, good.
Okay, update.
Yeah.
Which was the next day.
Oh, yay. Okay.
It's just one short paragraph. It says, I dropped his stuff off and he tried to have a talk with me. And he was basically saying his mom didn't mean any harm with the joke and telling me to chill it out and that I'm being dramatic. I told him to go date his mom since she is perfect and y'all understand each other's humor. That's the perfect way to end it.
Yeah.
That's the perfect way to end it. I
it.
hope she kept it that way and didn't let him weasel his way back into her life.
Because hopefully that was a growing lesson for him. He sit back and go, maybe our dynamics are odd. Maybe I should revisit that.
Seek therapy.
No one wants to. It's so many ads for therapy. Telling you how much it'll be. Like, hey, it'll be $20 with insurance. And no one goes. No one goes.
No one. Maybe we should, I'm going to reach out to BetterHelp. BetterHelp want to come sponsor us? Sponsor an episode?
Because we keep advocating for therapy. For free.
For free?
Y'all need therapy. We all need therapy. I think everybody should just go for a little bit.
Yeah. So everybody. The short we did where we talking about spend time with yourself or whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So we had said spend time with yourself and we said everyone should be in therapy. Mm-hmm. Somebody got in there and was like, the last thing you should do after a breakup is spend time with yourself. You're the problem.
No.
And I'm like, that doesn't,
No.
I don't get that.
You are the prime person I would say seek help. And this is, first of all, so what you think you supposed to do after a breakup is immediately jump back in with somebody with no self-reflection, no self-accountability. Just jump right on in,
And by
learning
spend
nothing.
time with yourself, what I mean is like, oh, don't just go, what I mean by spend time with yourself is work on yourself.
Yeah,
like
that's what I'm
Jade
saying.
said,
Evaluate.
learn who you are, realize your mistakes and your part in whatever is going wrong with you. And like we said before, reflect on your past relationships. If you notice the last 6 dudes is fucking you over, you kind of need to spend time with yourself to figure out what you're doing wrong.
Evaluating why you a pushover. Go, why do I let these people do this to me? Because even though they're doing it, you keep staying for it. So you're still a partner in the mess.
Well, then he goes, they should go to therapy. And I said, yeah, we said everyone should be in therapy.
But while you're in therapy, you also shouldn't be dating. You should be going to therapy, taking it viewing therapy as school. Like, for real, taking notes. Working on yourself.
To me, when I say go to therapy, that's a part of spending time with yourself.
You're going to therapy.
You're going to learn yourself while you're in. Well, you should be learning who you are while you're in therapy. But yeah, I'm like, that's also a part of that. Spend time with yourself, like,
because it's not even just learning yourself. Like learning about what are your tics. And then learning healthy ways to manage your stuff. It's not about masking. It's about learning healthy ways to manage your emotional things that you obviously don't know how to manage.
Learning how to regulate your emotions, because people's emotions is getting out of hand and they don't know how to handle it.
And they just leaking it everywhere, but where it needs to go, which is therapy.
Mm-hmm. That's how you end up with people getting, mass shootings and all this.
Yeah, because they didn't seek
people
therapy.
Don't know how to regulate their emotions, and they probably should have been in therapy.
Because your inner voice, when unregulated, is not someone you should be listening to. Unregulated you is not who you should be listening to.
And I say that from experience.
Unregulated you is not who you should be listening to. It's going to make some mistakes
that you can't take back.
And then when real you come back, you go, oh no.
I done fucked up.
Unregulated me done fucked me up.
I'm telling you, people.
We laugh, but we've been there. Oh, we've been there.
We just at the point where we can laugh now.
Yeah, it wasn't funny then. He hell is what it was then, but now it's a good time.
Yeah, great time now. Anywho, I saw something on TikTok earlier.
Yeah,
where this guy, the guy from, what's the show with Flex Alexander, 101?
Yeah, 101.
Okay. With the green eyes.
Yeah.
He was getting his haircut and they was showing him get his haircut.
Yeah.
What's his name? Something Richard. I know it's a double R.
Yeah, it's 2 names.
Something Richard.
Well, we know who we talking about. Who we talking about.
Well, he had brought up the question, how do you get back in the driver's seat of your own life? And I was like, that is a good question.
Coming on with the Brene Brown question.
And I was because we've all had moments where we were not in
control.
The driver's seat of our own life.
We were in the passenger or in the back.
Jesus had the wheel. Ooh. But he also brought up the things that he felt controlled his life in the past. And it wasn't just this one thing. It was like food controls you. Mm-hmm. The people around you control you. And so I started thinking what are all the things that has controlled my life and what is controlling it now? It really makes you think about this and then go, I don't actually have control of my life right now.
Very few people actually do. Because people go, ooh, people are the thing is, even if you have a ton of money, right? Mm-hmm. What controls your life? How you're making more money. So you're still
there's a part
not in control.
Yeah, I just thought it was a really interesting question because food, because there's a such thing as a food addiction.
Sure is.
And at that point, food controls your life.
Because it's a food / emotional.
Drugs.
Food can be a drug, depending on how you use it.
Especially the sugar. Didn't the study show that sugar has like
Sugar is highly addictive.
has the same addictive properties of like cocaine?
Yeah,
or
the same
something like that?
neurotransmitters fire
Yeah,
off
I was like,
when
it's
you have
something-
cocaine versus sugar. My God, today. Like,
You kill me when you say "my God" today.
because I feel it, because the way now, I told you, I really see it in Evangelo, because you know his shit is all over the place. The way that sugar hits his brain, you can tell when the sugar has hit his brain, because he be sitting there then, zoop, lies, just like a drug addict, eyes big.
That don't happen to me
Twitching.
when I eat sugar.
Now, Evangelo be going someplace else when he gets sugar. I don't know where the hell
Going
that.
someplace else.
He be in another dimension. That's why we don't let him have that much sugar.
That's crazy.
Because he literally goes to a different planet when he get too much, not a little bit, but like too much. Like if he get ice cream and cake, which we don't let him do. It's an either or. You getting ice cream or cake. Because you going to be in here acting buck wild fucking crazy.
Yeah, maybe that's the high that all the sugar addicts are searching for.
And boy, he gets it, and we got to regulate his ass. I mean, I feel it too. Like if I had a bad day and I get me a good sugar kick after a bad day, I say, oh, this is how druggies feel. Like one day I was really stressed, and I'm trying to wean off them fucking Oreo cakesters.
I don't like them.
Girl, I think it's the sugar. I don't even think it's the taste of the fucking cakesters.
Yeah, because I
I
didn't think
think
they
it's the
tasted good.
sugar. So I had a long day. I got home. I was like, I was like, ooh. I said, ooh, that's druggy. I need to work on that.
Something's wrong with you.
I stopped buying them. Because I didn't
You
like that.
should.
Made me uncomfortable. Like how good that shit felt made me uncomfortable.
As addicted to sugar as I am, I don't think I've ever had that feeling. But
that's because I put my emotions in it, see, because I was having a stressful day. And I said, you know what's going to make me feel better? This fucking Oreo cake. As soon as I was driving home, like, can't wait to tear up that fucking Oreo cake.
like you used to be with them damn honey buns.
Oh, when I tell you the motherfuckers have. But now I gag if I eat one.
You know, I did the same thing. I went and got one maybe a couple weeks ago. And I was just like,
I don't know what I was going to do with life. I was tearing them things up.
I ain't feeling it.
I couldn't even eat it all. I threw it away. I felt the wax all in my mouth. I was like, and I threw it away.
Well, how would you, like, if you realized that you weren't in the driver's seat of your own life, how would you go about, or what would be the factors that would help you get back in the driver's seat of your own life?
Okay, I will say, my hippie dip thing I do that I always would do is journal. That's how
I always forget that you're a journaler.
This is how I keep my emotions in check, because nothing will humble you like going back and reading your own thoughts. And then you be like, I said that? Like, you really be reading it. So I actually go back every month and read the month before. This is how I check my own headspace. It sounds crazy, but this is what I do. This is how I check my own headspace.
See, that takes a certain level of emotional intelligence, I guess, because I ain't got it. I go back and look at my shit, and I be like, you know what? Yeah.
No.
You know what? Yeah.
I go back and I reflect, and I go, what was going on?
I reflect and I get mad again, and then I be like, you know what? Yeah, we was right.
See, no, I go, were you really mad?
Man,
or was some other shit go? And then it's this, I forget where I read it at in this book. And it's the same thing. It's like, I ask why to everything like a child. So if I'm reading it and it goes, and I'm angry, I go, well, why was I angry? And then I come to that and I go, well, why did that make me mad? And then I go, well, what made me trigger that? And I do this every month. How do I have time to do this? I don't know.
I don't know how you have time
but
to do that.
I do. But no, it helps me. This is how I keep myself from going crazy. Because I go, ooh, Jay, you sounded a little crazy in this journal. Let's reevaluate.
I just know me. I know I'm going to see my words and be like, you know what? I'll find some way to justify whatever I did.
See, that's not my headspace, though.
I guess maybe that's just
because I'm looking for ways to improve, not to validate what the fuck I felt, but to improve.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe I'm just a Virgo and can't be wrong because I wouldn't have did it if it was.
Since my name is not Jesus Christ, I can and will be wrong. I can and will be. Even when I'm right, I could. The thing is, right and wrong is so subjective. So even if you think you're right, you still can be wrong.
Especially nowadays when Google will tell you anything.
Look, you can't even trust Google no more. You know why I refuse to upgrade my phone?
Why?
Because the new phone has so much more AI. I don't want it. And it's not optional. I can't turn it the fuck off. I said, I'm not upgrading my goddamn phone. Like, I don't want no more AI on my phone. I got enough.
Yeah,
I don't want more.
I think I'm gonna end up upgrading my phone to the next iPhone.
Well, you've been having that phone for a long time. I'm surprised it still worked the way Apple be playing.
It's not great.
Yeah, because it's deliberately messing up to get you to get a new one.
Because my phone is the iPhone 13 Pro Max.
You've been holding on, man. You've been having that phone as long as I know you.
I've had this phone longer than I've known you. I got this phone before I even moved in this house. It works. So I'm like, I don't see a point in buying a new phone just because a new one came out. Like, I'm not that, and I can't even say I used to be that person. I used to upgrade my phone every whatever years.
It was free.
But it was because it was free.
Yeah.
When I started having to pay my own money for the phone, well, I'm keeping that bitch until it breaks.
I upgrade mine when they start getting hot. That's my indicator code. This motherfucker getting hot when I'm charging it. It's time to let it go.
I said I would upgrade once it starts getting to the point where it can't hold a charge for 24 hours. But it's not at that point. It's, 6 o'clock now and I'm only at 80%. And I let my phone die.
You will let it die. It gives me anxiety. Because you know me, that phone stays.
No, I let my phone die.
If my phone die, check on me. Because I am also dead. Because I don't let my
Let's
phone...
hope not. Okay.
I don't let it die.
Yeah, you don't even like your phone to get.
If it's below 50, I feel some tinge of anxiety. Victor told me not to be that way.
Yeah, I don't feel that way.
Victor phone always on the brink of fucking dying. It's stress. Why is your phone on 10%? When'd you charge it yesterday? It is 7 o'clock the next day. Please get your life together.
What does it need to be?
Victor and Kanique, they live on the edge. You ain't met Kanique. But she live on the edge too, and her phone always fucking finna die. And it stresses me. In a house and a car surrounded with chargers. Yeah. His phone always dying. I don't understand.
I will tell you, there was one day last week, I get on the phone, I think it was with Gift, and it has to be 11 a.m. My phone was already at 30%. And I was just like, all right.
Well, if it hang up on her, it ain't come on. Dang.
Well, actually, that was one day this week, and it was really nice. What did I do? I turned my phone off and put it in my room.
Okay.
And didn't use my phone for the rest of the day.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually pretty nice. Do you ever do that?
Accidentally, yeah.
Oh, see, I did it on purpose.
Because you called me. I'm like, I don't know where my phone was at. And I found it.
Well, I was getting a bunch of texts and calls and all this other stuff.
Just
and I was just like, I don't want to hear another notification.
That's why mine don't make sounds.
Well, I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to feel it. I didn't want to hear zzz. I didn't want to hear none of that. I was tired of it. So I just turned it off and put it in my room. And I was like, I'm in. Oh, that was the other thing. I was picking it up every few minutes to go on TikTok or Instagram.
Just scrolling. Doom scrolling.
And I was like, I'm tired of picking this phone up. I'm tired of getting the notifications. I'm putting it away. So I did that, and that's when I told you Nate had messaged me, and I told him, I turned my phone off. So, unreachable. It was nice.
Do not disturb me.
It was nice, though.
I think everybody should do it. Again, I do it accidentally all the time, but...
You do it accidentally all the time. How it's not an accident, then?
No, I'm going to tell you what happens.
Your subconscious.
I sit there, I'm doing something. And then I get called to do something else. And then I get called to do something else. And then after a while, I go, where my phone at? And then that's what happens.
What do you think about this? It's not, now, I don't know if this is true or not because, social media be lying sometimes. But this says, China just told millions of influencers you are not qualified to speak. They're not qualified to talk about money, health, law, or education without a degree. In $14,000 fine, account deleted, career over, and then it just says here's what happened. But what do you think about that headline?
Now,
Do you think it's true?
no, in China it could or not be.
I thought the same thing.
It could.
I'm like,
It
it's
could
China.
not. That very much could happen.
I wouldn't be surprised because don't they also have the thing with birth where you like
Yeah, the
where
cap.
they put a cap on
Yeah.
how many kids you can have, which I think that's a good
I think
idea.
we need to do
I think that's a good
some of these
idea.
people are legit just breeders and they're out of control. Like they're out of control.
Some of these people are just breeders.
It's out of control.
Yeah, I think we should put a cap on, but then that messes with people's freedoms. So.
That's why we can. The thing is, an
And
uneducated person
US
has the right to speak on. It's your fault if you listen to their ass. It's not their fault for saying it. It's your fault for listening, and that's the American way. But I get what they're saying. They said we are sick of
the
people
U.S.
spreading.
has to continue to appear that we have these freedoms
because we don't. But
we ain't gonna get into that. But yeah, so apparently China's telling influencers that unless you have a degree in whatever you speaking on, you can't speak on it.
I think they're doing that because a lot of people don't put in the caveat when they're speaking. This is my uneducated opinion that you can or cannot listen to, but I am not a SME in this subject.
Exactly.
They don't do that. And then people believe and they go, okay, they have this nice house, whatever. They must know about money. Type of thing. I can kind of see why they did it, but to me, it's like if people are stupid enough to listen to another uneducated motherfucker tell you uneducated advice, that's your fault if you listen. What
do you think about the financial advisors that don't have the degree or background?
Then you're not a financial advisor. You're just someone.
And by financial advisor, I mean the people that's like, oh, I can get you out of debt with this whole plan.
Okay,
but
scammers.
Then they
They're
just tell
scammers.
They just tell you to submit these letters to the credit bureau so that they can remove it off your credit.
And it don't work because we all tried it in our early 20s. Like, trust you, me. We always on pictures downloading them formats.
It will remove it for like 30 days.
Because you don't do it the right way. The best way.
What's the best way to get out of debt?
Okay, so some years ago.
Okay.
What I did was like, okay. They think you owe me money. And I said, well, send me any documentation with my signature on it stating that I owe you, your company, any money.
I bet they didn't do it. Was it medical?
I don't remember. It was a ton of them. They went away. Because that's all I said. I said, I'm not going to order. I just, okay, well, send me in. Now, one of the things, because one of the loopholes is when you sign up for shit like car notes and stuff, what you don't realize is you are signing approving for them to sell your shit and for them other people to attack you. If you didn't read it, it's in there. But anywho, so that'll never go away. You owe them motherfuckers, you owe them. But some of the stuff, I'm like, well, if you didn't sign anything approving for the debt to be sold to anywhere else, and these other people call you owe me money, who are you? I don't know you. You don't have anything with my name on it saying that I said I was gonna give you anything.
Well, that's
all I did, and that took a lot of shit off. I just like, well, show me something.
I did that with some medical debt, because they sold the debt off to a creditor.
So you like, I don't owe you nothing. Who are you? And
I was like, show me paperwork where I said it was okay, because they didn't. It would have been okay if they had just shared like, oh, okay, this is what the debt
and
is,
they couldn't
like
do it.
The amount, but they also shared like my doctor information, the surgery that
which
I
is had,
against
the law,
stuff, which is all against the law. So sent them a letter saying, show me documentation where I said it was okay for you to have my personal health information, and they couldn't. So
and they hurried up and erased that shit.
Yeah.
They said she gonna get a lawyer. Hurry up, quick, disassociate yourself. Do it now. Because I simply just was like, show me something where I said I was going to give you some money. And they couldn't. So then they went away. Because I was like, well, I'm not even going to yell at you.
Mm-hmm.
Show me something I owe you some money. And that's it. That got rid of thousands from doing that.
Have you or do you invest?
Girl, I need to.
I do too. And
It's so much.
right?
It's so daunting.
I'm like, it's
I need an
so
advisor.
overwhelming.
I don't have time.
So when I first got this new job, because it's making quite a bit more money.
Yeah.
One of the first things I thought was I should probably get a financial advisor to help me like figure out what to do with this money. And I reached out to so many financial advisors. Do you know most of them told me that they wouldn't even have me as a client until I had $100,000 in the bank already? And I was just like, I just want to manage my money. Like
they say you don't got enough to manage, broke bitch.
Pretty much.
And you
I was like, but
even the ones that work with your bank, you think the ones that are with your bank will help you. You think. And I was like, first of all, if I was able to come up with $100K, I wouldn't need you.
Exactly.
I obviously know what to do.
I'm trying to figure out how to take what I got now and turn it into $100K, which I thought a financial advisor could help me with.
See, no, these people nowadays manage people's money. They don't help them acquire any. They manage money they already have. They're really financial managers, but they don't want to call themselves that because they don't know how to help you get money. They only know how to manage money that's already there. They don't know how to actually help you acquire any.
Well, now I'm looking into like investing. I'm looking into like
which is a whole
how to do it and all this other stuff.
It's so much.
It is,
shit. And
it's so overwhelming.
I'm tired. I don't got time for this shit. I'll do it later.
So if y'all got some recommendations,
let us
on
know.
Some, to knows investing 101 or whatever, let us know.
Because we did the first steps of home ownership and blase. We did the basic steps. We need some new shit to do.
Yeah, now I'm looking at like, stocks and something called a REIT. And I'm like, I don't know what that is.
And it's like I
investment funds.
I don't have the mental capacity to figure this out right now.
What is it called? Some index stocks. That's what I'm thinking of.
I don't got time.
It's a lot. Like, I know I looked up, like, this is how much I know about, how little I know about it. A few years ago, I was looking at potentially investing in something. Didn't know what, but it was like, I'll just research it. And I was just like, well, what's the stock market's website? Like... Okay. Do they have one? I don't know.
So
I'm like, all I know is NASDAQ. I said, but how do I get there? Like, what is this? And I get to some website that has like all these like different stocks and stuff. And I'm seeing greens and reds and all this. And I was just say, you know what? I'll look at this later.
That's why people pay people. Because you're like, nope.
That's how I'll look at this later.
I tried to dive and I said... I mentally am not in the mood to have to learn, to have to teach myself all of this
and they
shit.
never taught us that in school.
They barely taught us how to do a check. Barely.
And even now, it's been so long since I wrote one that when I have to, I'd be like, is it 00?
See, I still 100? Write checks.
See, I don't.
Well, they come free with my account, so
I don't even think I have checks.
Anytime, writing a check.
The last time I needed a check, I went up to the bank and just had them just print me one out.
I do the check simply because, for one, I got the book. For two, I want to remember how to write a check. So I keep writing the check just so I don't forget how to write a check because there's going to come a time. Well, for one, checks have come in handy like for school field trips and stuff, and I don't really trust my child with the money. So I'll be like, hey, here's this check, give it to your teacher, put it in an envelope type thing. So then I don't got to worry about the child losing the $35 to go to the zoo type shit. And then, but you should have a check. And then sometimes I pay people who, I'm like, I feel like you're going to bullshit me. I'm going to do, because the bank going to track my money better than I ever will because they feel like it's our money. They don't feel like it's my money.
Yeah, well, I want to start investing, but I don't really know where to begin. I mean, I do the normal, the 401k, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
I do that. But
you want to do more than that.
I want to do more than that.
It's tricky, man. And it's a lot of information.
You really have to watch it. And then the other thing is I hate like politics and stuff, but politics is heavily involved in stocks.
Politics goes hand... I'm
look
telling
at
you.
Tesla. Like, that was a clear example of how politics is involved with the
Mm-hmm.
stock market. Like, yeah.
Well, understanding politics, if you understand economics and you understand politics, you understand life. You understand how everything works. If you understand
you know who's
money,
actually really good with investing? Gift.
I'm not surprised. That girl don't play about her money. I'm not
really
surprised
don't. She
that
really,
Gift
really
don't. I'm not surprised at all.
I told her she need to start a YouTube channel on, investing. And she was like, she thought about it, but she don't know. And I'm
But
just
she
like, well,
young and got the
about
time.
it.
I don't got the time for that shit. On top of that, for all we know, that might have been her minor. Who knows? Who knows what Gift doing?
She's doing some of everything. She's also still thinking about going back to school to be a lawyer.
I can see her being a lawyer.
Or something in finance.
I can see her being a damn good lawyer. Ooh, with a good ass suit too. You know what? Gift should do that.
Gift need to figure out what she want to do. It changes.
I see her
every
being
week.
a good ass lawyer. Gift, you should do that.
You say that like she watches this.
She might. She might not.
I mean, we got some youngsters that watches the show.
That's how you reel them in. Youngsters.
I mean, they are. At least I didn't say we got some kids that watch this.
Jocelyn, you cracking me up.
Look, we got some people that's younger than us that watch it. That's all I'm saying. But anywho, I had a controversial opinion.
Oh, what is it? Let me see. Tell me.
It says 95% of men can't handle it when a woman is doing better than them.
You already know how I feel about that. They just want to live in your house. Oh, they can handle it. Now, a certain person can, a lot of them try to sabotage you and all type of crazy shit.
I don't think it's that high of a percentage of men that can't handle a woman doing better than them. I do think there are some men that can't handle that, yeah.
But I think some women do.
But I think to Jade's point, there's more of a percentage of men that's okay with it because they want to leech off of you.
Homosexual.
I think there's more of a percentage of those men than it is men that can't handle women being better or more successful than them.
I think it is a much higher percentage of people who want to leech off what you got going on.
But I think the same thing about women too. I think there's a large percentage of women that just looks for guys to leech off of too. Like, the term gold digger came from somewhere.
Or not only that, some of these women, they want projects. They don't want partners. And once you're not a project no more, they don't want nothing to do with your ass.
And I will say, I'm a former person that just looked for a project.
And baby, I'm so glad.
And I don't want it no more.
I'm so selfish. I've never been that. I'm your project. You ain't mine.
I also don't want to be nobody's project.
No, in my mind, I was like, you the one supposed to have the money and supposed to think of me the person you supposed to be helping get more money. I am not the person helping you. I'm not dating no man that don't know how to balance a checkbook, that don't got a bank account. Oh, I'm not. No, never have. I'm not filling out job applications for you. Gross.
I've definitely filled out a job application for.
Why can't you read and write? Gross.
The 6-year mistake, I got him the job. So, when I used to work for the other hospital system on Washington Street, and the cleaning service there, I used to talk to the director, and he gave the 6-year mistake a job there, and then he got fired from it like a couple months later.
Of course he did,
because he just stopped going.
Of course he did.
I was like, and it was so easy. He literally just had to clean the building that I worked in.
You already had to. All you had to do was clean an already clean building.
Because there's people that's cleaning it throughout the day.
That's what I'm like. All you got to do, because the hospital, that place had their own cleaning crew entirely separate. I'm like, you had to clean an already clean building. That's all you had to do.
Yeah, I don't know, but the 6-year mistake was also one that leached on. He was a project that,
Because sometimes for some people, it makes them feel good to be helping somebody that way. And again, I'm selfish. I don't want to help you in that way. I'm not interested in helping. And I think a lot of people, because if the roles were reversed, he wouldn't be interested in helping you in that
Exactly.
way. He would not.
But yeah, I think it's more men that don't give a fuck if the
Yeah, they
woman
don't care.
is more
Yeah.
successful than them. Like, I just think that's an old way of thinking. I don't think most modern men
They
feel
don't
that
care.
way. I will be honest, I think there's a higher percentage. I do think there's a higher percentage of women that feels the opposite. Like, they don't want a dude that's not, like, they would feel a type of way if he wasn't as successful as them.
Yeah.
I think there's a higher percentage of women than we would probably admit.
Because I think for a lot of people, it's not just about the lack of money.
It's not.
It's like, okay, so where's your goals? Where's your ambition?
And that's what I was about to say.
It's not about money per se.
Whether right or wrong, we tend to associate your success with how ambitious you are. Are you
your determination, your mental strength, basically,
and all this other stuff.
Yeah,
and if you're not as successful, it's like you
just lollygagging through life, and because in my mind, I go, if you lollygagging through life, you finna
Free-spiriting
lollygag through me, and I don't got time. You finna think that we just gonna be having a good time and ain't nothing serious, and don't nobody got time for
this
that.
is why mainly men be watching our show.
Why?
Because I don't know. I guess we just hype them up. But anyway.
Well, not every, but the thing is, we give praise where it's deserved.
Yeah.
Regardless of who gets
I think
it.
people need to give men a little more credit here. Like, I don't think that most modern men feel a certain type of way if the woman is more successful.
I don't know any man that would be like, I want my girl to be broke. I don't know any man that would open his mouth and say that.
I think it's a much small. I do think there are still some men that have issue with it. I do, but I think that percentage is way smaller than we think it
used
is.
to be. I think.
And if I will say this: if the man does have, there is a large percentage of men that don't have issue with the girl being more successful, but only because he wants to leech off of her. That's higher.
And then it's also the thing is the dynamics. Like, is she making him feel small because she has more, or does she just have more?
But to me, that's a whole nother different issue. That's not because, like, he doesn't have an issue with her success. He has an issue with
her attitude,
how she treats him. So I'm like, I ain't even associating, because to me, that's not the issue. Her success isn't the issue. Well,
her personality is. It don't got to do with her success.
Yeah, but that also comes with knowing who you dating too. If they ain't treating you right,
because I don't know any man that be like, yeah, don't do better. Don't just make more money because I'll feel some way if you make more money. First of all, if I was to somehow make $300K a year, you think Victor will be mad? He be asking me what I'm finna buy him a new truck. He be like, well, what you buying me?
Like, it doesn't make sense to be mad about it. So
my thing is, do you want your partner to be poor? Like, I'm confused.
So if there are men that feel that way, like still feel that women shouldn't be more successful than them, let us know why. And then also, what is your definition of success? Because that's different for everybody too.
Again, subjective.
Yeah. So, you might be thinking you successful and then tell me about it. And I'm like, oh, that's cute.
That's so mean. I hope you wouldn't say that to somebody.
It depends on who it is. I would say that to somebody. That's cute. You know who I would say something like that to?
Who?
KT from my old job.
Why?
Just cause.
Just to be passive aggressive.
Just cause.
Why? I don't say things
just because
like
I can
that.
be a little mean sometime. I never said
I wouldn't say that.
I would.
Because to me, if I want to say something mean, I go, just don't say shit. So they'll say something, I go, And I just wouldn't say shit else. I just wouldn't say nothing.
You know, that's what our parents teach us. If you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all.
And every time I say something slick, God pop me in the back of my neck with a sandal. And something bad happens every time I try to be a bitch. So I stopped doing it. So I'm like,
but it's so fun.
It used to be till I started getting... The thing is, once the universe realized I knew better, I started getting consequences.
Well, that's
like when I was ignorant, didn't know no better, nothing bad happened. But once I got some sense, I started getting popped in the back of the neck by God's sandal. So I act right.
Ugh. Well, I would say it. So sue me. But anywho, we gonna call it the.
I don't know how you ain't got popped yet because you know better.
Look, Jay, you say all the time that you surprised somebody ain't done tried to fight me.
I really am.
I really don't think I be doing nothing to nobody.
You don't do nothing to me. You be doing stuff to others.
No, I don't.
Yeah, the hell you do.
No, I don't.
And I'll be like, and you what? I'm like, how they even still talk to you after you did that?
Who did I do something to? Nobody.
Okay.
Nobody. Like, literally, I don't do anything to anyone.
Okay, think about what you just said you would do to KT.
Tell her that's
you
cute.
think that that's not doing nothing to nobody?
I didn't do it. I just said I would. There's a difference.
But you do shit like this.
I don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't do stuff like that to people. And you can't even give me an example.
I ain't gonna do it on air. But there's examples.
Well, okay. Whatever. Guess we'll never know.
And I'm gonna tell you as soon as we through recording. What you mean?
I'll let y'all know what she say if she actually say it.
Okay.
All right. Well, with that, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and
share
on YouTube and on the audio platforms. Make sure you like, comment, follow, and
rate and review.
I was like, she forgot.
I did.
But yeah, make sure you commenting and all that stuff because, like I said, it really, really helps us. And with that, we will see you guys in the next one. Deuces.
Bye, friends.